What's going on, everybody? I'm Jeremy, and you're watching Warfels Morphs. This week's video, guys. All right, that's kind of like a pre-programmed thing in my head. This week's live. Sorry, we've got King Austin himself of Royal Highness Pythons joining us. It's going to be a great live, folks. Some of these questions might be a slight rehash of stuff we talked about before and the last time Austin was on, but I think they're topics that so for maybe some people that didn't catch it, maybe some people that are new to the channel that are watching tonight, it's some things that I think is really important for you to hear. So let's bring him on. Austin, what's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Doing good. Let's see. We got some 4 people in here already crawling in. And
Nice.
let's say hi to what's up, Derek? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Good to see you.
What's up, Derek?
What's going on? Yeah, you know Derek. You got the party with him out there at Tinley, didn't you?
Yep, he's a great guy, great host.
We've got John from Aquiline. What's going on, John? Good to see you, bro. If anybody would like to support the channel a little bit, like John here has, let me find the link here. I should really have this like already. You would think would have this down pat by now. Let me find you guys the link here quick. It is a link. Sorry if you hear some background noise real quick. There we go. Muted that fast enough. Basically, it is a YouTube Patreon type of deal. And you get there's a couple different tiers. You get some added perks depending which tier you go with. And I'm looking to improve it as well. So, as time goes on, things are only going to get better with it. But it gives you the neat little icon that John there has, plus a bunch of different other perks going into it. So, John, thank you very much for being John was actually our first Patreon member. So, thank you, dude. Greatly appreciate it. Creative Genetics, what's going on? PCF, what's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Rob, good to see you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. BG, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see here. Bob, Reptili, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Also, if anybody, first of all, hit that like button for me, folks. Hit it real quick for me. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. And to start off, if there's any super chats, super stickers, all that awesome stuff, all that stuff goes towards my ultrasound fund. So I greatly appreciate all the support. Austin, I'm sure will confirm that ultrasounds definitely save you a lot of time and headaches.
Oh yeah, they definitely they get you pairing in the right time frame. So if you really want to get your girls and get the most out of your males, an ultrasound will definitely get your male. You can stretch up an extra 2 to 3 females because you're not wasting him in times where she doesn't need to be paired.
Nice. See, that is why I need an ultrasound, folks. And YouTube was the best way I could figure. Hey, let's put the money that's made from YouTube and from all the people that support the channel, let's put that to good use and put that towards an ultrasound fund. Mark, what's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in. So, Austin, let's get into it. In case anybody by some crazy chance does not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the hobby.
So my name's Austin. I work for Mutation Creation. You guys might see me on the Mutation Creation YouTube channel. I do a lot of those races with Billy and the egg cutting videos. Yeah, I have a tendency of beating Billy. He's just really unlucky, I guess, or maybe I'm a lucky guy. But we have a lot of fun on the channel. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, already subscribe, Warfels Morphs, and also subscribe to Mutation Creation and my channel if you haven't already, King Austin. I have my own YouTube channel. I've been slacking like crazy lately. I've just been super busy this year. I've had a lot of hatchlings. I'm at clutch 87, I believe, and I still have another 10 going. So a lot of babies hatched this year, so I've been preoccupied with that. I have been recording videos, just haven't been editing them and putting them up. And yes, main squeeze reptiles, the answer is Ultramel. That's my favorite morph if you guys do not know. And specifically the Ultramel Clown project is my favorite project. And actually, when we're done in here, I'm going to bring you guys inside and show you something pretty crazy. Some things I picked up recently.
Nice.
So, yeah, so I haven't made a video about it yet, so I might as well show you guys a little prequel before the video. And yeah, and basically what got me into the hobby is when I was in preschool, someone brought a pet snake in, and I always asked my mom for a pet snake or at least a lizard when I was a kid, and she was very scared of reptiles, so she bought me a hamster, and I was thinking that was snake food, so it was better than nothing at the time. But then when I was like 15, I started getting some snakes. I had some retics, I had some boas I was breeding at the time, and then I got some ball pythons and sold all the retics, all the boas, and just focused on the ball pythons. Then I met Billy, started working for him almost, I think it's 7 years now.
Oh
And
wow, I didn't realize it was that
yeah,
long, dude.
yeah, I think it's coming on 7 years, or it's
Okay.
7 years already.
Now,
It's been a
were
long
you
time.
Tech Billy's first technical employee then at that point, basically?
He had someone else working full time for him, and uh, she needed more work. Billy couldn't give her more work because there was no more work at the time, and so she went to go somewhere else, and Billy had me part time, and then I
Okay.
switched over to full time.
Nice, nice. Main Squeeze says they just picked up 2 double head Ultramel clown combos. Nice, dude.
Nice.
Congrats.
Hopefully females.
So yeah, hopefully, yeah, because you gotta grow them up first. Yeah, everybody,
Yep.
just so you know, Austin saying about taking us inside and seeing this stuff, that was all news to me. So thank you, dude. I appreciate that.
Oh, no
Everybody always
problem.
wants to see some eye candy. That's for damn sure.
Nice.
So, all
Yeah.
right, what pairings this season for 2023 have you most excited?
Oh, one of them I'm not gonna say because it's a little secret for now.
Okay, I can understand that. That's all right.
Yeah. But a lot of Ultramall Clown stuff. I do have two Ultramall Clown males running. I have a pastel Ultramall Clown that I own half with Elias, Florida Lion. A lot of you
Okay.
know him. And then I have my own Blade Ultramall Clown breeder male, so I'm using both of them a lot. And I'm breeding them to a lot of head clown stuff, crazy combo head clowns, some visual clowns. Looking to make a lot of clown head Ultramall combos. And I even have them going to some really cool Ultramall combos as well to make some Ultramall head clowns.
Nice. Um, Now what about Ultramel Sunset stuff, or what is it? Ultramel, was it the lavender albino Ultramel that made like this fluorescent orange snake? I know like Sunset Ultramel made an orange snake. I think it was lavender
Yeah.
albino and Ultramel made like a freaking like it was like fluorescent orange.
I haven't seen the Ultramall Lavender yet, so I'm gonna have to go look at that after this. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is something cool. But I know the albino Ultramall. I believe it was produced by MBK. It looks really cool if you guys search it up on World of Ball Pythons.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it was the Lav Ultramel. I'm like 98% sure. Everybody, if anybody remembers me, because I think it was on one of my picks of the week, if I'm not mistaken, like earlier in the year. So, um, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know if Stephen and Courtney were here, they'd be able to correct me because they were one of the ones that the Sunset Ultramel made me like my eyes open up to the Ultramel because I was like, all right, that's the first combo I've seen with Ultramel being partially colorblind that I understood the amazingness of it through pictures.
Yeah.
It's one of those genes. If you're partially colorblind, it's hard to appreciate it. I think because I don't see the
No,
purples exactly like everybody else does.
no, definitely. Yeah, that would definitely take away from it for sure.
Yeah. Main Squeeze says that they got one of each with that triple with that pairing that they got the double heads.
Okay, nice.
Nice. Mark wants to know, will the monsoon pie be produced this year?
It should be produced this year. This year I had three chances at it. I missed all three.
Oh man.
I think the male might have not been het because I didn't want to do the actual male I got from Billy because he's special and the mom was also special and I didn't want to make a white snake. So
Yeah. Okay.
I used one of his babies who is a normal. He proved out het pied and he looks really wacky like a het monsoon, but he didn't have all the markers and I took a real chance with him and I was talking to Justin at Tinley and he gave me the advice to never go and ever take a chance with a male. Always use 100% het males if you're going for it or a visual. Because if you take the chance, it really set you back like it did me.
That it does make sense.
Mhm. You can guess with the female heads, but the male heads, it's better just to use the 100% rather than the 50.
See that? Yeah, I can get that. That there, I try to everything I'm doing here. I try to eliminate that possibility of doing the 50% het stuff, like creating them. But ultimately, it's an eventual. Like this year, I've got one, two pairings that will produce visual exantics, but it'll be 50. Everything will be 50% het clown. Only plus side is at least you can test for the clown.
Yeah.
That's the kind of way I looked at it. It's like, all right, well, for any visual exantics or anything I decide to hold back, it's getting tested. I'm gonna just kind of nip that one in the butt. That way I know for sure, and I don't, like you said, don't waste a year or whatever growing it up or, trying to prove it out.
Yeah. Saves you a lot of headaches, grief,
Yeah.
and then it puts you ahead in your project as well. So.
Yes. Let's see here. John says he can't wait to see the monsoon pied. That will be awesome looking. There's no doubt about that. Monsoon with its craziness, and then what pied does to pattern.
I could show off a few pied het monsoons because I have like 12 I held back, and I have about 5 or 6 I'm gonna sell this year. So they look pretty cool. They're 50% hets, but you can pick out which ones are hets because I don't really believe monsoon is a recessive gene. It looks more like a codom, a really subtle codom with a really expressive super form, kind of like the yellow bellies. Yellow bellies almost look like a normal, but the super's all white with the stripes. So it happens sometimes, and I think that's what I really think it is. And a lot of people, I even talked to a few breeders at Tinley, and they said that they bought a few 50% hets, and they were picking them out, and a lot of them already proved to them. 4 out of 4 for one breeder. And another breeder had 3 out of 4 approved. So.
Okay. All right. See, now that's where I get that's where it starts really screwing me up. Like, at what point do you draw? Like, because you have pies that show pied markers. Like, you can pick out a het pied normally pretty easy.
Yeah.
But that's technically that's recessive. So I don't know where people draw the line at. I don't know how they.
It's hard to say, but I believe, like, if you're going for supers, it's pretty much a recessive project anyway.
Yeah.
Same with if you're going for ivories, same odds, 1 out of 4 when you breed them together, the hets or just the yellow belly to a yellow belly. So calling it a recessive isn't a bad thing, but I think it visually expresses itself, so I'm going to call it an incomplete dominant.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Uniquely mutated Morse, what's going on? Zach, what's going on? Dragon Soul, what is up, Pat? Good to see you, dude.
What's up, Patrick?
We've got Ryan from Smitty Serpents. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Ryan was on just last week. That was a great live as well, Ryan. I had a lot of fun, dude, with that live. Thank you. Let's see here. All right, that catches us up. Oh, look, we got my buddy Nathan from Infinite Possible Pythons. What's up, brother? Good to see you, dude. If it wasn't for Nathan, if anybody didn't see on my Instagram, Nathan kind of half told me I was an idiot if I didn't vend this last show at Oaks here in Pennsylvania. So I vended it. I took his advice, vended it, and it was probably some of the best advice I've ever gotten from anybody. I basically sold out at the show. It was absolutely freaking fantastic. Went with like 11 snakes, came back with 4. I'll take it. All right. So, all right, let's get into pairings and stuff. At what size do you pair, Austin? Because I think everybody, this is a very important thing. Actually, hold on, wait. Before we get into this topic, let me take a minute to thank the sponsor of this week's episode. I want to do that before we get zoned in and really cruising here.
And this episode is sponsored by B&S Reptilia. B&S Reptilia, folks, let me tell you, is a one-stop shop for basically whatever you may need. If you're looking for ball pythons, Chris has it. He's working in so many different projects, and he's got amazing quality animals. He's also got blood pythons, gorgeous, gorgeous blood pythons. He's also working with different types of colubras, like Mexican black king snakes, bull snakes, pine snakes even. He's working a couple different boa projects, Australian species even, like Roma pythons and scrub pythons. He's got it all, folks. B&S Reptilia is one place you want to go to if you need a snake. And on top of it, he also supplies Eastern PA with different types of rodents like rats, ASFs. He's got it all. If you need cocoa, he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the chipper. So definitely do not miss out on what I consider by far the best cocoa substrate on the market. Chris sells it. Go to him. He is our distributor. And make sure you tell him Jeremy sent you from Warfels Morphs, because you might just get a little bit of a surprise if you tell him that. Thank you, Chris, for sponsoring this episode. I greatly appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Chris. And everybody, Austin's social media information is in the description down below, along with Chris's information to get a hold of him and all that stuff is in the description down below. So make sure you check them both out, please. All right, now back to the question. At what size do you start to pair, Austin? And basically, when do you start your pairings? And like what follicle size, since I know it's not necessarily the time of year for you, it's more the follicle size.
So I ultrasound every 3 to 4 weeks my collection, so I always know where the follicle sizes are, and I actually start ultrasounding females around 900 grams, but I like to start pairing around the 1100 gram mark. Some females I will pair like 1,000 grams, 1050, but generally 1100 grams is when I start pairing them, and I like to pair around 11 millimeter follicles. That's when I do like the first lock. Sometimes I'm a believer that copulation does stimulate follicle growth, so sometimes I will pair if they're like 5 or 6 millimeters, and I see this girl just hasn't gone yet, so I'm just gonna go and put a male in with her. Hopefully that can stimulate her to start growing follicles, start bull wrapping, and then I'll just continue to pair once a month.
Nice. See, that's one thing where it threw me. Like I've had a couple of people tell me that before, and I had told you this backstage. I've had a couple of people tell me that, 1,200 grams, just throw that male in there and see what happens. If they're going to go, they'll go. If they don't, oh, well, you didn't really lose anything out. You at least gave it a shot. Hearing it come from you with all your experience and all the experience you have surrounding you, it was like that nail in the coffin where it's like, all right, awesome, I'm going to try this. And I've got it going on with three females this year. I'm giving it a shot. They're about that 1,100, 1,200 gram mark, and they are locking like crazy, folks. So it is definitely, it's worth a shot. I mean, now whether or not they go, we'll see. But two of them will give me visual exantics, possibly. One could land me my double visual exantic clown. So I'm super excited about that. And then the other one's just going to throw some really neat Mojave, GHI, and banana combos combined there. Super Mojave, Super GHI stuff like that. But it's nice stuff that's more that sustainability clutch type of deal there. Ryan says once a month for how many days?
Okay, so I like to go at least 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
But sometimes I let it stretch to 7 to 9. Depending, I like to see at least one lock in there. I don't go looking for locks every time, but maybe like a day or two after pairing, if I have time, I'll go check for locks. And if I see a lock, I'll take that male out like a day or two later when he's unlocked. But if I come back 2 days later and he's locked again, I'll leave him in there till he's unlocked. Sometimes I have males locked for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do that twice, so it can go stretch for like 8 to 9 days. So it depends, but generally I like to say at least 3 to 4 days.
Okay. I know my one male, I threw my DG male in with my exantic, my pastel exantic girl, a couple weeks before she actually ovulated, and they were legit locked for 3 whole days, folks. I mean, it was the one lock I really needed, I think, to seal that deal, because them locking kind of went on a long hiatus there where he didn't want anything to do with her or vice versa. But I at least got 2 or 3 locks in with him throughout the pairing time with him. But that last 3 days, I was happy with that. Perfectly Engineered Reptiles, what's going on? Mitzi, thanks for tuning in, girl. Good to see you. Kai, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Everybody, if super chats, all that stuff, super stickers, it goes to my ultrasound fund. Feel free to drop a super chat or anything like that. It's greatly appreciated, and I appreciate all the support as well. All right. So that's that all goes the 11-1200 gram thing goes against that whole stereotype of the 1500 grams, which we're all I don't want to say we're all like what's the word I want to say? We were all told basically that this is the only time you can start pairing. I think it's important for everybody to hear people that have experience doing it a little bit earlier. And like you said backstage, Austin, it puts, well, I'll let you explain how you explained it to me backstage because you put it very well.
Okay, so if you get your female to go to 1100 grams, a lot of people's argument is she's gonna lay a small clutch. So you might get like 4 to 5 eggs, sometimes even 6 for 1100 gram female. That's when you start pairing. She'll probably lay around 1600 grams, and then after she lays, go back to around 1000 grams, 950. So you got 5 eggs, let's say, that first year. Next year, she eats up, gets back around 12, 13, 1400 grams. Start pairing her again. She lays around 17, 1800 grams. She lays you like 6 or 7 eggs that year. So if you got 5 and 7, you got 12 eggs in the 2 years, rather than waiting one more year just to go get a 7 or 8 egg clutch. So instead of getting 7, you have 5 more. So it's in my opinion, it's a little bit better. I don't see it harming the female anymore. I've been doing it with some females for 4 years now, and they're breeding great, eating great. And they're already over 2,000 grams. First time they paired was 1,100. Second time was around 13, 14, and then 17. And now it's around 22. So it's perfectly safe, I find. I feed once a week, a really small meal, and they're growing amazing.
Okay, see, now that was going to be my next question. So you cut me off there before I even got to it. I love it. That was going to be my next thing is how often are you feeding them like that? What are you feeding the smaller size? Are you feeding a bigger size? But that answered that question right off the start there. So thank you on that one, dude. Appreciate that.
But
All right.
I actually recently just tried something new with feeding. The
Okay.
last month, I've done one feeding where I do a small rat to every breeder female, and then the second week I do 2 smaller weaned rats.
Okay.
So they're getting a smaller meal. The 2 weaned rats are still smaller than the small, but it still gives them enough, and I'm finding they're breeding a lot better. A lot of the problem feeders that won't take the smalls are actually taking the smaller meals. That's where I think a lot of the ASF comes into play because ASFs are smaller than rats. So if you're ever having like a problem feeder, try feeding a smaller meal once a week or maybe even twice a week, and you'll be surprised how well they eat.
Okay. See, I never thought of that, but that's actually a good tip, dude. Thank you. That's this is the stuff that experienced folks, it starts to show through. Let's see. Creative Genetics wants to know: do you have any signs that would stop you from breeding the female? Okay, that's a good question.
Uh, like in what sense? Like I'll take it in two senses. Like I would stop breeding her if she gets sick. That's right away. Any signs of respiratory infection, mucus, uh, just to stop pairing. If they stop eating, I still keep pairing. I keep offering food. That's when I usually go switch over to ASS. And the worst
Okay.
case scenario, some mice, because if the ASFs don't work, mice usually do the trick. But you generally want to keep the female eating in the breeding process, because if she does stop eating, a lot of the times you will get slugs, majority slugs, or even a full clutch of slugs. So you want
Okay.
to keep her eating, but you can keep pairing her. But do try to get her back to eating. And that's probably the only real reason, like if she was sick, or
Now,
if she was
what?
like
Oh,
deathly
sorry.
thin,
Go ahead.
something
Go
like
ahead.
that. Or if she was like deathly thin, like if she didn't have enough body fat, I think to have a clutch, that might be the only other way I would stop breeding her, so she wasn't eating and gaining, right?
Okay. Now, um, oh, I just lost my train of thought. Damn
Sorry
it.
about that.
All right, hold on. It'll come to me here in a second. Give me a second. Oh, all right. Do you know, like all of my girls, after a certain follicle size, like I'm gonna say roughly when their follicles hit, I don't know, I'm gonna say about that nickel size. All my girls basically stop eating at that point. It didn't matter if I would switch sizes or anything like that. Now, granted, I've had, every girl so far has done great, and giving me great clutches, and everything's been 100% for 2 years. Knock on wood on that. I want to keep that record going. But do you know, are you having the same thing happen that roughly at a certain follicle size, they're all shutting off? Is there, it's one of those follicles or food, room for one, but not for both?
Yeah, so around 26 to 27 millimeters is the earliest I noticed it by. And
Okay.
then at around like the latest is like 37, 38 where they stop eating. And I say they turn the eggs around like 48, 49 is when they're like going to ovulation. So
Okay.
yeah, so like about like a week, 2 weeks before ovulation is the latest, and then usually a month is I say about the average.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe my girls are just really weird or something. I mean, I
Well,
try to keep around like I feed everything, like all the girls get medium rats. But then as time goes on, those follicles start getting bigger. I do try to add, throw something smaller to them, but they're just like, nah, don't want it at all.
yeah.
But like I said, they've done good for me so far, so I can't argue with that. I'm just happy
If it's
that
not
I've had
broken, if it's not
exactly,
broken, don't fix it, right?
exactly. I know I was sometimes like for how my girls have been so far, if they go back onto food after they've gone off, that's when I start getting worried because my Exantic and my Banana Girl this past season, they were off food, right about, like I said, the nickel sized follicles. And it's like awesome, was palpating them. I could feel everything. And then I noticed that the follicles started getting a little bit smaller and they went back onto food. I'm like, no. It's like, please, no. And it's like, all
Yeah.
right, I found, one of my signs as to when I've lost that battle.
Yeah, I find that happens usually when they stop eating a little early. So that when they
Okay.
stop eating around the 20 millimeter to like 18 millimeter mark, that's when you're gonna have a lot of reabsorption. I had 3 absorbed females this year, and all of them stopped eating around 20 millimeters. So that's
Okay.
why I'm trying to offer them whatever they want at that millimeter size until around 25, 26. And if they want to stop it, I'll give them the break. But I'm still offering every week until they hit around 40. So
Okay. So that's one thing I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna try implementing this year as well. Is like really, even if I have to go for try to find some ASFs, which I got some people I can go to on that. But we're gonna. I do not. I want to go for 100% lay rate this year. I would love to hit 100% on that because my first year I missed out on one clutch. Second year I missed out on 2 clutches. So year 3, I'm hoping year 3 is the year.
you can do it, man. It's definitely obtainable. Just keep up
I
with the
hope.
pairing and the feedings. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Feedings and pairings.
So yeah, I do my pairings once a month, um, for at least 3 days or until they unlock. Um, so that's basically my like, and it's got a set schedule. There again, since I don't have the ultrasound, I can't pinpoint everything, so I've got to go with that, every 30-day rotation type of deal.
Yeah.
Soon enough, we'll have the ultrasound to eliminate the whole guessing game and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Creative said wants to know when you offer a live rodent, how long do you leave it in before you take it out?
It depends what rodent. Usually rats. My rat guy's pretty good. He gives rat food inside of the tubs, and there's plenty enough for them to eat. So they're already eating right until they go into the bin. And with the rats, I will leave them. I feed around like I get my rats at like 7. I drive to the facility. I probably feed like 7:30, 8 o'clock at nighttime, and then I'm done
Okay.
feeding around like 9 or 10. Takes about an hour, sometimes 2 hours, depending on how much assist feeding I have to do and stuff. But generally, I'll leave the live ones in overnight, and I come back the next morning around 8 or 9 a.m. So they have about 12 hours in there, and then I'll pull them out, whatever's left in there, or I'll switch it to something else to double feed. And that's about how long I'll leave them in there. But for ASFs, I'll leave them in for like 2 hours, 3 hours. Leaving them overnight, I notice they're way more nippy, even if they have food. So I don't like leaving them in with my snakes.
Gotcha. See, that's one thing I don't do live stuff. I try to avoid live. Phil, Thank you, brother. I greatly appreciate that, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That definitely does help go towards that ultrasound fund because the contact that I want to get, I think it's like 1,200 bucks. So thank you, dude. I thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You have no idea. All right, let's see. That Phil, that really caught me off guard, dude. Thank you. All right. What are some of the must-have and complete dominant genes that you think people as breeders need to have in the collection for their arsenal?
I definitely think it has to be something in the yellow belly complex. I just love what it does to the flaming of the snake. It enhances a lot of the colors, the oranges, the yellows, and brings in some nice purple tones into the ultramelts as well for the contrast from the flaming. And I definitely think like either mahogany, stranger, or Nyala. All three genes are very similar. They all do their own little thing. So something like that is definitely, it's a really nice dark gene inside the collection. It works well with a lot of the other recessive projects. And one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is Bongo. I think it works really well into the clown projects. It works really cool into just a bunch of combos, stacking genes onto it. And I think a lot more people are going to be working with it in the future. And I just think there's a lot more potential behind it.
See, there's not a lot of people working with Bongo. I think the only one that I know of off the top of my head is what is that? Garrick the Meyer. They're at Royal Constrictor Designs. I think he's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that's working Bongo.
Yeah,
So
not a lot of
I never
people.
thought of that.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of potential behind it. I've seen a lot of the Bongo Clown combos, and every single one has blown me away. And there's a lot more to do with it. A lot of spot notes to put into it. Spot notes yellow belly bongos, I think are going to be mind blowing. And then of course Stranger and all these other genes into it as well. So I just think there's so much potential behind it. Even inside of the Ultramel, Lavender projects, the Desert Ghost stuff, just so many different ways to take it.
Yeah. Now, what about like what's your have you looked into or looked at much of the zebra stuff at all?
I've seen it. Uh, Personally, it's not for me. It's like it's a banded snake. There's a couple of other recessive banded genes, but they never took off like the zebra. The zebra's by far the nicest.
Okay.
But I just haven't seen enough with it yet to go and say I definitely want to go work with it. I've heard a couple of the bigger breeders have picked up quite a few, and they're working with it. So I'm waiting to see what they do with it, and hopefully some nice stuff comes from it.
I know the only reason I ask is I know a lot of people when I was on with Billy's Patreon, a lot of people had always asked him about zebra, and Billy just kind of he's like, I really don't look into it. He really didn't have a whole lot of input towards it. But I figure you seem like you're out there looking for the next great big thing as well, and like that type of mindset, I guess, is what I want to say. So that's why I
Yeah.
kind of thought you probably have. It's probably caught your eye at some point.
Yeah, I've seen it on Morph Market. I've looked at all the combos available there, like over the past year. A lot of the same stuff, and there's not too much done with it yet. That's why uh, I haven't jumped on it or even really looked at it and looked at it with potential. But I think there
Yeah,
will be potential when you find that right gene to mix with it, or maybe that right other recessive that it needs.
Exantic.
I think that would be really cool with it. It looks like
Because
a striped, black and white striped snake. So
it'd be a ball python and a California king snake combined. That
really
that
cool.
was one thing when I saw it. The few examples that I saw of it, my mind always goes to adding Xanthic into it, no matter what.
Hmm.
But I've really thought that would be a neat looking snake with Xanthic thrown in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, let's see, we've got a lot more people, and we are at 39, 40 people, so that is awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Do Jeremy a big favor.
Thank you, Austin. Appreciate that, brother. Don, dude, it was good to meet you here at the Oaks yesterday. Thank you for tuning in tonight as well. All right, what are some of these genes that you think are underrated or underutilized? I guess is the better way to put it. And that they're not necessarily underrated; they're just underutilized.
once again, I'll go to the bongo for sure. I just think bongo has so much to do with it. There's also, I think, calico. Like, a lot of people calico came out like a while ago. People liked it. They did a couple of things with it, but they kind of left it aside. They didn't really experiment too much more with it. I think that it might have some more potential, especially in some super entry combos with yellow belly. It's really reactive with the yellow belly. Even inside the freeway, it looks really nice. So I'm like hoping to see what freeway clown does with the calico. Calico clown is pretty cool. So calico, I definitely think is another one that's prevalent, but not a lot of people are doing too much with it.
So calico is one that you don't hear a lot about, but and this is I know that it is a controversial gene as well, but calico mixed with like spider, calico and spider mix very, very well together. That is an outrageously awesome looking snake, folks. And spider gets a lot of crap. I love spider. It is what it is, but it's a nice interaction. It's one of those genes where it was meant to go with spider.
Definitely.
Perfectly Engineered wants to know what your expo schedule looks like for 2023.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm probably gonna go to Tinley at least once, maybe twice, like the March show and the October show again, and hoping to reach Daytona, maybe even Arlington, San Diego. I'm not 100% sure, so we'll see what happens. But I'm aiming to at least hit like 2 or 3 shows in the States, and then maybe 1 or 2 shows in Europe as well.
Nice, nice. See, I would love to go to Tinley. Originally, my wife and I had planned to do it in the spring. Needless to say, with the baby coming in February, that put the nail in that coffin for the spring show. That won't happen for us. But it would be awesome if I got to hang out with you out at Fall Tinley. That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, the Fall Tinley is more of the bigger show, I heard, so definitely gonna reach that one. The March show is more questionable for me, but I'm trying to reach it as well.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll try to shoot for the fall ones. That way, I got a better chance of meeting you then in person.
No, definitely.
Danny, what's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in, and thank you, dude, for calling me the king of the O's. Dude, it was a blast hanging out with you there, and it sucks we weren't closer, but I know Dom had a lot of fun running from our booth to your booth and giving you a hard time. He was telling that was one of his highlights of the show was bugging you. So yeah, for all that's worth. You bring that kid a lot of joy, dude. Patrick, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, dude. Good to see you. Straight Blast, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Ryan says you need to come out to Pomona in January.
I already have a trip planned for January, so I'm not too sure it's going to happen.
Where are you going out in January?
It'll be a surprise. I'm not going to say it yet. I'm going to make a video about it. And yeah, do a couple of Instagram lives and stuff. So you guys will see for sure.
Awesome, dude. You guys make sure you're following Austin on his Instagram, guys. So that way you can find out where he's going.
Yep.
Eric, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in, dude. All right, if you guys have any questions for Austin, just drop them in the chat there. I will do my best to get to them. At some point here, Austin's going to take us inside and show off some awesome snakes. So make sure you guys stay tuned and don't leave because you're going to miss out. Let's see here. All right. This is one that I think we all have those few things that we would have changed. But what are some of the things you would have changed from where you're at now? If looking back when you started, what would you have changed?
I would have gone to Ultramel a lot sooner. Especially Ultramel Clown, because I was talking about Ultramel Clown about 4 or 5 years ago to people, and for some reason, myself didn't want to jump into it, and now I'm kind of kicking myself because I could have been producing visuals last year and this year. But another one is definitely like when to buy females and when to buy males. Something that I didn't know at first, and something that a lot of people weren't talking about. How you should go buy your females first. Go buy recessive females mostly, some pretty cool combo heads. Grow them up a year, then go invest some money into a male. Grow them up for 6-7 months. The females will be ready in about 8 months, 9 months after, and start the pairings. It's a more efficient way to use your money, and you get a lot more out of it rather than the way I did it.
Now, here's my question for you on that one. With buying your males and females, where do you want the het to sit and where do you want the visual to sit? Do you want the male to be the visual and the female to be the het? Because females cost more, but if they're the het, they're a little bit cheaper than they are if they're the visual. So, how do you go about doing that one?
I would always do the male being the visual.
Okay.
And like I rarely use het males unless like the gene is astronomically priced, and I just can't afford the actual visual. So I'll go for the het. But with that, I'm breeding that to visuals, and I would never take the chance of breeding that to a het to make 66% heads. It's just something I try to skip. But generally, I'd rather go and breed a visual male or even a double or triple, if you can get one, to visual females than het females. And if I were to go for a het, I'd at least want 2 genes. If it was going to be 1 gene, it'd have to be a really powerful gene. Like in the clown instance, it'd have to be like a stranger or a hurricane het clown female. If it's not one of those, I want at least 2 or 3 other genes, and at least one inside of the yellow belly complex, because yellow belly complex works so well inside the clowns, especially with the spot nose clowns, something I love inside the clowns. So, yeah.
Spot nose and clown are awesome together. I love spot nose clowns.
Definitely.
All right. Straight Blast wants to know Ultramel or DG and why.
So I work with Enhancer, which is similar to GG, a little bit of a different color, but very similar. It's compatible. But I personally would choose Ultramel over it. I like it better is the first reason, and the second reason is CGI Austin. No, Richie. Chad, what's up, man? When I was walking around a lot of the expos, even in Canada, but especially Tinley, I noticed every single ball python breeder had Desert Ghost and crazy Desert Ghost combos for sale. So I seen like everyone's working with Desert Ghost, and that kind of scares me. Not as many people are working with the Ultramel, and there's a lot more left to do with it. So you can be kind of more of a pioneer inside of that little gene rather than going and chasing all these other genes that all the big guys are already making inside of the Desert Ghost. So it gives me my own lane, and I think the DG market might get oversaturated in the future. Like every single person is doing Desert Ghost clowns. Like everyone and their moms is doing Desert Ghost clowns. So
that does scare me. I'm not gonna lie. I know, like, I mean, at some point, I mean, PG, I think it's going to become a staple where everybody wants to have that in their combos. But yeah, like everybody's gunning for it ever since it kind of took off with the crazy prices.
Yeah. And like, I've seen it with other genes where when everyone's on it, at first the price is going up, and then as soon as everyone starts producing them, market gets a little bit oversaturated and stuff starts to come down a little bit. It's not going to come down drastically at first, but once you start getting those really crazy triple recessive combos in there, that's when everything's going to start dropping. But
no,
I do think, just like Chad says right there, I think DG will be in everything. I do think it's going to be in everything, but there are places where DG is not going to be. So, and that's where an Ultramel and other like lavender and other color mutations have their lane. And DG is amazing. It works so well in so many combos, but there's ways that Ultramel takes it better. There's ways lavender can make it better. There's ways that even like rainbow, the candy stuff. There's so many different lanes to take it. Even the Xanthic stuff that you like. So there's so many different avenues to take it with color palettes. That's why I think like mutation patterns, like mutation morphs, they're like so like important inside of this because they really differ in what you do. And when you're mixing 2 different color palettes, a lot of the time, anything you mix with the Xanthic, whether it's the albino, rainbow, the snows, like all you get is snow, right? The Ultramels, they all look very similar. But at least when you go and put the pattern mutation on there, you're getting the same pattern, but way crazier colors and just different palettes, you know? There's so much more variation that way.
Yeah. No, I get you. I agree with that, too. Let's see. The chat wasn't crazy there for a little bit. Mark says, yeah, that's right. You do have a shot at DG Clown this year. You, Mark's got a very, very awesome DG male he's putting to work.
Nice.
Very, very beautiful snake. Let's see here. DG can ruin a combo too. See, I've
I
never
have
seen.
seen it happen.
Say, what? All right. What genes do you think DG doesn't go work well with? I'm curious on that one.
It's. I think you right away. I know you like Spider, but anything Spider, I just don't like the DG version. It looks
Okay.
like the super pastel. If you add fire into it and all that stuff, it can get very similar. So, because the spiders they brighten up so much when you add orange dream, fire, pastels. With a DG, I don't really see it being worth in there, especially how the hobby sees the spider. So spider is
Okay.
something like I would never put into DG or enhancer. But there's a few other things. I don't want to get anybody mad because I see a lot of people doing this stuff. But like chocolate stuff, personally, I don't like the DG in it. I think like it doesn't give it the it doesn't do much to it in my opinion. I know a lot of people like it, and there's a few other ones I don't want to mention because I don't want to piss any more people off. But yeah,
Well, see, this is like it's just your opinion. It's like not everybody loves Ultramel, and you're not going to get pissed off at the person that doesn't like Ultramel. I mean, it's we all have what we like and what we don't like. I know a crap ton of people hate Spider. I'm sure I've lost a bunch of subscribers or potential subscribers because I said I love the Spider gene, and it is what it is.
yeah,
This is Lav DG.
haven't
Uh,
seen them.
Lindsay, thank you for tuning in. You're a new face. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for me, please. I greatly appreciate all the support. And go follow this guy here. I actually pointed the right way for the first time, folks. Make sure you mark that down because it never happens. Dude, it really doesn't. Normally, I'm there like, yeah, it's like, no, this doesn't work. I don't know how I actually did it. It must have finally sunk in. Uh, Bells, yeah, yeah. You definitely don't want to. I don't even like. You don't want to do anything, in my opinion, recessive into a bell. Um, yeah,
Yeah, or even I
because
think
no matter.
the bananas in the DG as well. It's just it's not needed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was curious as to what Banana and DG would do, but wouldn't have tried it. Um, my first season I did a GHI Mojave to a pastel banana, and I ended up hitting a GHI Mojave banana, and that thing looked awesome. It made me wonder why everybody wants to try to produce like lavender albinos, because this thing is like lavender in color. Like she's absolutely freaking stunning. It's like, why are
Yeah.
people worrying about a recessive thing when you can just go after this thing that's a lot easier to make? But yeah. Anyway, I don't think DG would make that any better because I think that would just brighten her. And I
Yeah.
don't think that it would do her any justice. I think I don't even think pastel would look good with that one, in all honesty. I think pastel would maybe take away from it being a very nice lavender color.
Oh, the pastel
Fusey,
lavenders are pretty nice.
pastel lavenders?
Yeah, it
Okay.
makes the lavender pop actually a little more.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, I don't know anything about like the actual lavender albinos really. Actually, I don't really know a whole lot about any of the albino complex stuff. Um, I will be completely honest with that because it's something that doesn't catch my eye too much. Um, Even like you were saying, well, like with the snows and stuff, it does like I like contrast. It doesn't give me enough contrast to really stand out to me.
Mm.
So that's like one thing I'd never would throw Xanthic into albino. I just wouldn't do it. Phil says he got a white lace hat clown paired to a pastel clown. Nice, dude. Get them locks in. Jobs 2020. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see here. Chat is going off. Hypo Cypress, and other dark genes. See, DG would with the black with what it does with blacks, yes. Um, Mark wants to know: do you still hate Red Stripe?
I don't hate it. I think it's a wasteful gene. In my opinion, it doesn't
So
do anything in clown.
See, I have Red Stripe, I think maybe floating around in my one Bruce Wayne that I got from my buddy Danny. But we got to prove that out. But what I want to do is I want to get a black pastel yellow belly clown and throw to her and see if I can hit a Pompeii in the mix, or make a Pompeii Batman, hit something freaking crazy.
Yeah.
I think that'd be neat to. I mean, my luck sucks, so I know I have Billy's luck, dude. Just so you know, I have Billy's luck. So
Well, he
when
hits
Billy,
the odds.
what's
He hits
that?
the odds. He hits the odds. Just doesn't pick the right egg.
That's true. He may lose, but he still wins. That is true.
Yeah.
Pat says, "See what's on your mind." He's taking notes.
Pat's a great guy.
Chat is going off. We are at 46 people in the chat, folks. So make sure you guys have all hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Greatly appreciate it. And make sure you're also following Austin on all of his social media platforms. And any super chats, super stickers, all that stuff goes to my ultrasound fund. So that is all greatly appreciated. Phil, thank you again for the $20 donation to that, dude. I greatly appreciate it. Chris, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, dude. Good to see you. It was fun hanging out with you a little bit there at the Oaks show. Reptile Lifeline, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
Before I forget, I have to give a little plug for Patrick.
No, go ahead, dude. Plug away.
50 minutes of lame contest. If you guys know Chris Eaton, he has that podcast. There's 50 minutes of lame. Vote for Patrick, man. Patrick, he's a great guy, funniest guy. You have to vote for him. I've been voting for him every single day. You guys should too. I think it's up until Christmas, so just go vote every single day. Chris Eaton's page. Just click for Patrick.
There you go, folks. You heard it right from King Austin himself. Lindsay says, I'm going to really butcher that. Moros. All right. Thank you. Has a beautiful lab, DG. I'm going to have to look that up because I'm curious now as to see what it looks like.
I'll have to check it out too.
Wayne says, loving the show. Team Enhancer.
Yeah, I'm going to go inside and show you guys some snakes.
All right. Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Talking
Ashley,
about
thanks for tuning in.
It's going to go dark for a second.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. Thanks for tuning in, Ashley. And everybody that is a YouTube Patreon member, I'm going to be posting the date for our live stream, our members live this week. It will be, I'm going to go with Wednesday at like 9 o'clock, something like that. So that way it doesn't interfere with some of the other lives. But yeah, I'll post that and let everybody know. Let's see here. Kent, what's going on, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Defiant by Design, your new face. Thanks for tuning in, dude. I greatly appreciate it. Slithery Serpents, what's going on? Austin is going to be showing awesome eye candy. So actually, while he's getting situated there, we're putting him up on the big screen. And everybody, just so you know, there is no picks of the week this week. I'm not going to lie. This week was that freaking busy. I really did not have time to sit down and hit Instagram that much. It has been crazy around here lately. And with getting ready for the Oaks show and Thanksgiving, all that stuff, it was just busy, crazy time.
Okay, here's the first snake I'm going to show you guys.
All right. Ooh.
Any guesses on what it is?
I'm going to say it's stranger clown of some sort. It's dark, whatever it is. I'm not new to this game, dude, that if I'm not working with the chances are I can't pick it out.
Yeah. So this one right here is a Neala clown.
Oh, that's a Neala clown.
Yeah, so just Neala. This one's possibly yellow belly, but I've seen some yellow belly Neala clowns. They look a lot different, so it's just like a base gene Neala clown. Very similar to the
Okay.
Stranger. Just has a little bit of a different pattern and some different colors to it.
I do like the flaming going up on that though. That's got
Hmm.
some really high flames, and the contrast is really nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you have the base form of the Niala there with you?
No, I just have a
Okay.
Nyala clown.
Okay. All right.
Just gonna place this down and grab the next snake for you guys.
Matt, what's going on, dude? Thank you for tuning in, dude. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Dang, you guys are chatting it up. Let's see. Ashley, oh, you'll be at work. All right. Well, like I said, I'll try to figure out when we can do it. I'll put a chat out tomorrow, and we can pick a date and time that works best for everybody. Oh, now that's definitely enhancer.
Hmm. What do you think it is, though?
Man, I almost want to say OD enhancer of some, probably with something else thrown in there.
So this one's just a pastel NG enhancer.
That's just pastel Enchi enhancer.
Hmm. So it's a little different than the pastel NG Desert Ghost. It's a lot more yellow. All the blacks are washed out, as you can see. It's just really nice and yellow. It's like it really brightens it up, the enhancer, compared to the Desert Ghost.
I see. Now DG's more for like. Correct me if I'm wrong. DG's more for like keeping contrast, but the
Yeah,
enhancer actually is more brightening than what the DG does.
yeah. Like I noticed the Desert Ghosts tend to hold the blacks a lot better. Instead of having more of a yellow tone like the enhancers, they have more of like a greener tone to them, especially in the
Okay.
base form. But then when you start adding other genes, you get more of those yellow tones from the Desert Ghosts. But with the enhancer, it just turned up so much more. And then I'll put
Dude,
my
that's a
head here.
beautiful snake, man.
Yeah, even the head almost looks like a super pastel, but that's just pastel Hunchy.
Yeah, that does have like the super pastel head.
Hmm.
Now, I was dancing between Enchi and an Orange Dream, but man, my eyes were seeing some crazy orange colors. So it's like it's got to be Orange Dream.
Yeah.
It sucks to be colorblind. Everybody, well, partially colorblind. It sucks. Um, let's see here, David. Thanks for tuning in.
And this girl just had a big meal bit last night, so
Oh,
this one is a butter enchi vanilla enhancer.
oh wow, dude, that is like nuts.
Yeah, really nice.
It get like the dorsal, like it almost gives like that. I'm just gonna say like the shadowy effect, like if you're in like a woods on how like you have the darks of the shadow, but it's not. I don't know. It just adds a really neat effect.
Yeah, it's a really cool snake.
Yeah. Now is that a male or female?
Female.
Okay, I was gonna say she looked that it looked like a female with how thick she was.
Yeah, she just ate a big meal, so
Yeah. Okay.
so she was off food for a while, but I threw a little bigger meal in there, and she decided to take it. So not complaining.
Yeah, no, I would not complain at all. Chad, enhancer, red stripe.
Never.
Alan, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, all right. I did know you were doing the ladies of the night there with Angie there, Ashley. So we'll figure it out. I'll try to accommodate everybody because it's once a month deal. I'd like to try to get everybody that is able to do it. Now,
This
is that
one,
butter clown or lesser clown with I'm sure something else hiding in it?
yeah, this is lesser mahogany spot nose orange dream yellow belly possible fire clown.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, she's probably around like 700 grams right now.
Okay, dude, she looks a lot bigger than that on camera. I'm not gonna lie. I
Well,
was
here's my
expecting
hand
like,
next to her, so
okay, now, all right, now she looks more, yeah, like her sitting there by herself. I was like, dude, I was like, she's looks like she's ready to go.
yeah, she's nice.
She's beautiful, dude.
Yeah. And then I'll show you some Het Monsoon pies.
All right, a monsoon, something where I love. At some point I will get into it. Just a matter of waiting for it to hit my price point. Bob from Reptili Morris wants to know if you have any Wookiee and what are your thoughts on it.
Wookie, I do not have. I think it's very similar to chocolate. That's my thoughts. Before I jump into the pies, I thought I'd show you a triple het. So this one is a pastel special triple het ultramel pie monsoon female.
Okay.
And you can see this.
No,
The het monsoon wax out the pattern, gives you all these little dots, circles in the dorsal.
okay, yeah,
Waxing the
that's what I was
pattern.
gonna say. Is that the markers that we're looking for? Is like the donut holes on the dorsal dots and stuff like that.
Yeah, just pattern raising up the top. Weird, just alien heads. On the other side, she has some nice pattern. Like a lot of stuff looking like this over here.
Okay,
Almost like hurricane.
dude, that's nuts looking.
Yeah, and I'll show you some pies.
Will, yeah, I would put my glasses on, dude, but they didn't work. I tried and tried and tried, but the glasses don't work for me, so I just finally gave up. Um, yeah, we'll just let it at that. I just gave up on it, dude. They made grass not look green anymore, which was really messed up.
So this one is a special pied het monsoon. And I produced a lot of other special pies before. This one has a little bit darkness on the head, almost looking axanthic, and it has some ready in the pattern as well. And I noticed a lot of the het monsoon stuff brings a lot of darker pattern. We're even having some of this like pixelation bleed through over there, and
Dude,
even just
that's
even
nuts looking.
yeah, even just the color around the saddle, how dark it is. It's another thing I'm noticing in the pied het monsoons. And then we have more pixelation coming through here.
Holy crap. I love the face on that one too. Does it have
Yeah,
like with it since it's a special pie, does it have like the Terminator eyes too?
yeah, it has like a red slit in the eye.
Dude, that's that's just gnarly. I don't know why I think that's so cool, but it is. Because their heads, like they get that like you said, like that exantic silvery look onto the spots of the heads as well. It just looks awesome.
Yeah. Ooh, I almost got bit in the face.
Oh gee, yeah, don't also if you get bit in the face like that, dude, we have no option, but we gotta turn that into a YouTube short or something for both of us.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, no. I would I would not want anybody to go and try to get bit on purpose, though.
So here's one of the pied posh het monsoons that has a lot of markers on it. And oh, she's not happy.
I say she's feisty.
Yeah, but right away you can see she's really dark. She has just a really wacky pattern. It's not typical of your normal pied. She has somewhat of a head stamp. It's a little bit hard to see, especially with her all fired up. Oh, yeah, she's not happy.
No, she's not having this, dude. She's kind of pissed.
Yeah, she's definitely. Oh, she does not want. I'll put you back. I promise. I'm just gonna go put her back. She does not.
No, you're good. You're good. Josh, 2020. How am I a breeder that's colorblind? Everything exantic. That's part of my slogan. Exantic everything. I'm not fully colorblind. I see colors, just certain colors I don't see that are properly like. I used to do a lot of fishing. I had what I thought was a black fishing rod. My wife made fun of me because it was purple. and I had no idea it was purple. Like I've used it for years. No one ever corrected me or told me. Not that it mattered because it was a top of the line fishing rod, but I argued with her. Even to this day, I still think the freaking thing's black. But everyone now tells me no, it is purple. All right, well, whatever. I can't see that one.
So here I have another pied het monsoon. This female has a lot more size. And you can just see really wacky pattern again. There's so much
Yeah,
circulation building through. Over here, just complete wackiness. Doesn't look like a normal pied. And then right now she's deep inside a shed. You can see her eyes are blue. If you
yeah,
look over here, you see there's like darkness in the middle of the saddle around the pattern. And over here too, you're having some darkness within the saddle. It's more of like a bronze color, and I'm noticing that inside a lot of the paw set monsoons. So those are the ones I'm tending to hold back. But I've held back so many this year, so I'm probably going to be letting a lot of males go, and even a few females. And then I have probably like 10 double het females, or possible double het females, but they're 100% at pied with crazy het monsoon markers that I might be letting go this year. So
okay.
hopefully I can produce one before I let them go.
I hope you do, dude.
Yeah.
Straight Blast wants to know what is better for contrast as an adult, enhancer or DG?
Um, Here, I'll go show you the very first enhancer ever. I'll put the snake back and I'll get that for you guys. And you can go see for yourself.
All right, awesome.
And I'll compare it with the Desert Ghost.
Chats that's a nice ass special pied. So I'm really far behind on the chats, guys. I apologize. Because you guys went like freaking 8 on the chat here and it left me in the dust. Don says everybody needs purple on in their life. Yep. Let's see. All right. Wow, I did catch up now. Okay, awesome.
Pull this out. Grab the enhancer so I can show them side by side.
I would love to have that facility. I'm not gonna lie. Or I would just love to have that room. I'll put it that way. While Austin's doing that, I almost picked up a new carpet python. I didn't though. I didn't do it, but I almost did.
So over here we have an adult Desert Ghost female. See her? Looks like a normal Desert Ghost. She got that head stamp in the middle.
Yep.
She got the black still. And then over here we have the very first enhancer ever from the wild. And she's just a lot more brighter, as you can see.
She's a lot brighter, and I want to say cleaner. Like in the browns, it's cleaner looking.
Yeah. But you can see that it lost a lot of the blacks. Like right over here, you can see it's got some blushing coming through, and even other parts on the dorsal, but it still held a little bit of the black. It's more of like a darker brown color now. When over here, it's more of a black color.
Okay.
But for contrast, for me, I like the contrast better in the enhancer versus the Desert Ghost. See how the thing has more of that green tone to it?
Yeah, it does throw a unique color to it. I mean, my DG male, like I guarantee with my camera, it wouldn't even pay off showing him off. But plus, he's putting in some work anyway at the moment. But no, my DG male, basically, I mean, he's a little bit cleaner in the brown right now, but he's only 2, 3 years old, something like that. So he's not that old yet.
Yeah, this female is 2016 for the Desert Ghost, and the enhancer I believe is like a 2003 or 2004.
Okay, all right. Yeah, my guy definitely has a little catching up to do before I could even it'd be an even fair comparison.
Mm. And I'll show you some other adults I picked up recently.
Okay,
Just gonna put this female back.
very good. Yeah, everybody. At Oops, I was sitting there, and directly across from me was Scattershot, and Scattershot's got some amazing carpet. It their carpets are just out of this world. So basically, all day I was standing there staring at these freaking carpet pythons. Guy was talking to Mike there for a little while. He is going to be. We're going to be booking him to come on the live stream and talk carpets with us as well at some point. But just wow, that's all I can say. It was hard to not leave with a carpet from him, but since room's a little tight right now, especially for the carpets, that was basically the only reason I didn't come home with one. But it was really hard. If I would have had the extra spare cage just laying around in the room, one probably would have found its way home.
Um, so first, I'll show you guys this one. I'm just gonna bring her down. She has some nice ear rates in here. But this is a proven breeder Ultra Malcon female.
That's pretty, even though I'm sure what I'm seeing isn't what everybody else sees. But what I see is still beautiful.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to pick her up, and she's actually being paired right now. She has like 18 millimeter follicles. She's around 2,500 grams. So hopefully she can lay a nice 8-egg clutch. Got a really nice pairing to her. This is the pairing I'm keeping quiet about, so you guys see the female, but you won't know the male. So it's gonna be some insaneness.
Now, her dorsal, what color is her dorsal stripe?
It's like a brownish bronze.
Okay, all right. My eyes were seeing like a very, like a, I don't want to say brick red, but a color that wasn't brown, but we'll go with brownish bronze.
It's like the color of toffee almost.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Like what toffee you eat, not like the Gene toffee.
Nate, you need to get a male for your female. Dude, I've got some Het DG males you could borrow if you want, if you want to play the Het game. I mean, like some leopard combo Het DG stuff. I mean, I know you can go get better stuff. I know you, but the offer's there, bro. The offer is there.
Yeah, hopefully. Sorry, 1 second. I almost got bit again in the face.
Jeez. Well, I guess it is. I mean, it's nighttime. To them, it's food time if the tub opens up. Or you guys probably feed during the day, though, don't you?
Pardon?
You guys feed during the day there at the facility.
Billy does. I feed during the night, and feeding day was literally yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, this is a really bright enhancer female I picked up. And this is a pastel het red xanthic enhancer.
Oh, okay. So, I love the speckling there on the dorsal.
Yeah, it's really cool. I wasn't expecting this in this combo. Even the brightness, it's almost like it's glowing. The camera definitely doesn't pick it up.
Yeah. No, she's beautiful, dude. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. There's a few others I picked up, but I'd rather keep quiet for a little bit. So.
No, you're good. You're good. Nate, okay, Nate, you met for your carpet. Well, I mean, if you wait a little bit, I can maybe produce you one. You can have one for me then. I've got a bunch of Nate's snakes over here living. So at some point, he's got to get one of mine living over at his place.
And lastly, I'll show you guys something from this room, the hatchling room. I just gotta go 1 second. Put you guys down.
Now, the hatchling room is what used to be the podcast room, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
We have the
I
podcast
thought I remembered
room.
you guys had changed everything into. Oh, there's the TV. All right.
Yeah. And now we got some incubators here.
Oh, those are the new Wilbanks incubators, aren't they?
Yep. They're really cool. So
I was looking at those, and the way they're designed, it's really freaking awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. These pull out. I think that's definitely a big plus.
Those are just nice.
It's a great design. And it comes in all these different sizes. So it comes from, I say it's like 6 feet tall. And then it goes to like 5'6". Then it goes to like 4 foot, 3'8", and then it goes to a nice 2.5 foot one or 3 foot one right here. So a lot of different options.
Those are just nice. Well, what were you guys using for an incubator before those, though?
We're still using them a little bit. They're called Cornell's World. Somewhere local in Canada, they make them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is probably gonna be the last snake I show today. And
All right.
this goes right here. Let me get it under the light. He's being a little bit of a finicky eater, but this is acid fire enhancer, 100% hypercrown, 66% hyper G-stripe.
Dude, that is freaking nice. I love acid stuff.
Yeah, this guy is just insane. Like his colors, he's going into a shed soon, so his colors are not even at its peak. But in a couple more sheds, this guy's going to be glowing. And I have a couple of pretty cool females to breed into. And I'm holding back an army. I'll show you a couple more. Might as well.
I like the way you think, Austin. I like the way you think.
Here I have G-stripe double het enhancer clown female. I have like 2 or 3 of these. So growing them up, gonna breed him to them in the future. And I already have some older double het enhancer clowns that he's gonna be going to this year. So I can't wait for that stuff to go. And then here I have a really cool pied het monsoon. This is a leopard pied female. Well, she's possible het monsoon, but you could say it's 100% by looking at it.
Yeah, that's not a normal. Yeah.
And then once again, we're getting that gray pattern on the face, right behind the eye, actually, just like you do on some of the special het monsoon pies. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera.
No, you can see it a little bit. Yeah.
But this girl is just insane looking. It's definitely not your typical leopard pied.
No, that's definitely, there's a lot of influence there on that one.
And then next to her, I have this guy who is a yellow belly pied het monsoon. And once again with him, you could just, there we go. His pattern is just, I don't know how long I'm showing you guys because I have to show the front of my screen. But
no, you're actually doing it good.
Okay, that's surprising. But you see the pixelation coming through on the sides. Just the overall darkness in the dorsal. It's almost like a very nice bronze color. Some orange in there. It's a really nice pied. Pretty sure this guy is going to be proving in the future. I'm going to pair him to one female first to prove him out and then go ham with him. So,
dude, that's a nice looking snake.
Yeah.
See, now that's the type of pieds I like. I like a lot of pattern in the pieds. I love low white stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like the high whites.
Here, I just keep showing you snakes. I could show you this all day. Here I have, this is a Enchi Orange Dream Fire Lesser Hypocon.
I like that. I love the head. The head stamp on that thing is freaking awesome.
It's nice and purple, the head. I don't know if you can see it.
No, dude, like you're like doing this really good for not being able to see what you're really doing.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Yeah, like you had it like spot on perfect, bro. Like spot on.
Yeah, trying to get the eyes in there. She looks really cool. Oh, he looks really cool. I already have a breeding male, so I don't need him. He's probably gonna be for sale. And then I have. Here, I'll show you a couple of crazy. You like the special pies, you guys? So I have a couple of other special pies. Here's a male special pied that I'm pretty sure is gonna prove het soon. He's gonna be for sale soon.
Oh, okay.
He has
the born, what's up?
Coming, he's got the pixelation coming through on both sides. And he has the gray on the face. This guy has like one Terminator eye. The other side is pretty normal, but it does have that red stripe through it too.
That's just crazy though. Like the one side, like it's two completely different heads on one snake, basically.
Yeah. And then it has the Het Monsoon head stamp too as well. So pretty positive this guy's going to be proving. And then what else is in this clutch? This one's really cool. So I heard you can hit it sometimes with the special pies, but so I have one with an all-white head, and then it has patches, 2 patches on the body, as you can see. It has some of the Het Monsoon markers on the side here. Let me see if I can get him to move his head a bit. But not 100% sure if he's going to prove or not Het Monsoon, so still going to be listed for sale, probably at a lower price than the other guy.
I see. There's not a lot to go off of there with that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no head stamp or anything. But here's some double het females I have. I'm going to be listing soon. So you can see right away, this does not look like a normal.
Yeah, no, that is far from normal. Holy crap.
Yeah, and look at the dorsal. It has the donuts. I've noticed Het Monsoons have belly pattern as well, really wacky belly patterns.
Okay.
And of course, it has the head stamps. So, like, and
yeah,
this is 100% heifer pied, possible Het Monsoon female. I have like 15 of them. I'm going to be listing soon on Morph Market. Only downside is in Canada, we can't ship to you guys until like end of February, beginning of March.
I say, so, once it starts
I'm going to grow them up a bit and list them. See, maybe hold 1 or 2 more back. You never have enough holdbacks.
No, that's the problem with doing this. Like, as especially for me, as I produce more, it's like I start realizing, okay, I can't hold everything back because I start to run out of the rack space. It's like, good grief, this is tough. The first season's awesome. It's like, all right, if I want to hold it back, it's fine. I got tons of rack space. But it's that holding everything else back that starts really hurting you. Angie and Jeff, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Florida board, I did not get my ultrasound yet. I'm still a little ways away from it. But we're getting there. We're getting there, brother. Phil donated $20 today towards the ultrasound fund, so I greatly appreciate that, Phil. But at some point, I'm hoping it'll probably be middle of this year till I get it. But at least I'll have it for 2024 season is my goal. So that's where we're at with that. But slow and steady wins the race. I'll get there. I'll get there.
I think I'm going to finish off with this last snake. This is one of my holdback males. The odds are really hard to hit him, but somehow I hit him. And this is, want to take a guess?
Dude, I don't even know where to go with other than clown. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That pattern is freaking nuts.
Yeah, I really like the head on this guy. He has like lines on his eyes, and then he has like almost like a sword looking thing or a key on his head.
Yeah. That's just wicked looking, dude. Like, wow. And the color, like I'm seeing like a grayscale color on him even.
Yeah,
too.
There's some nice grays. You almost have some gray browns breaking through on the lower part of the dorsal, but the top it's really nice and gray. But this is a lesser spot nose GHI clown.
Okay. See, so, yeah, The GHI I can get. I can see GHI, but wow. I guess I could see the lesser two with on how it's faded on the sides. But that
Yeah.
thing's freaking nuts, dude. Holy crap.
You know what? I just remembered one more thing. So
All right, show it. We all do. I don't. You're
what it
not
was
gonna
last
have anybody complain.
You know what? I can probably just come up here and start opening cups for you guys.
Well, look at the bright side, Jeremy. 2023 election campaigns will ramp up, and Democrats will throw money at everyone again to vote for them. So that will help with the ultrasound fund. Oh, that's funny.
So here's an Ultramo combo.
That orange on the head, dude, is that? I mean, that looks freaking. I can only imagine what that looks like in person, but holy
Oh,
crap.
it pops, and even in the dorsal, it has some of it too. And in between,
Yeah.
there's a lot of nice purples and lavender colors.
See, I know. I will say, I do see the purple and lavenders in this one.
Mm. It's really cool. And this one's an orange dream butter fire Ultramo female.
That's nice, dude. That I do see the hype with Ultramel on that snake. I do see that.
And then let me just pull this one out. Jeez. Here we have, just put my phone. This one
Oh,
is an Enchi spot nose orange dream fire yellow belly clown female.
that's very nice. I love the head on that. Reptile Lifeline, thank you very much for the super chat there. I greatly appreciate that. They would like to know, Austin, what's your anticipated clutch of the year that you could tell us about?
Okay, so I'll tell you guys. This year I had a clutch. It was a pastel Enchi. No, it was a pastel quad het rainbow hypo VPI pied. So quad het to a Enchi quad het, and I had 5 eggs, and I had hit two crazy babies, uh, both triple recessives and combo triple recessives. So they both had other genes as well. So the pastel and Enchi in the mix,
Good
and they
grief.
both didn't make it. So they didn't make it out of the egg.
Oh,
Yeah, I did hit. So I'll tell you, I hit a pastel Enchi rainbow hypopide, possible head exantic, and this thing was purple and orange and yellow. I do have some pictures of it. I'm gonna be making a YouTube video about it because it was like the craziest snake I hit this year. And then in the next egg, I hit an Enchi VPI VPI Azanthic rainbow hypo with a huge ringer on it. So it was probably het pied, and both of them didn't make it. One was a male, one was a female. But I was lucky enough to go hit two pastel Enchi females that both have het pied markers and rainbow markers, and the rainbow pied is what I'm chasing the most, I'd say. So I'm pretty happy I'm holding those two back. And then I was lucky enough to hit a pastel Enchi pied that has hypo markers and rainbow markers. I don't know if there's head exantic markers, so I can't see them, but I do see the rainbow markers and I do see the head hypo markers. So he's being held back. I'm gonna breed him back to the mom, and I also have a triple het hypo rainbow pied, so I'll probably breed it to that as well. And hopefully next year I can hit some really crazy stuff with those combos.
nice, dude. I hope you do. That sucks that you nailed these crazy ones and they didn't make it. That's what
Yeah.
scares the crap out of me with this breeding stuff. Like, if you nail the odds and you think it's golden, it can be just going just like that. That's the thing that really freaking scares the crap out of me when it comes to doing this.
Yeah. It was bittersweet for sure, but I know that I always have another chance. So
Yeah.
bad things come. You'll think bad things can only happen so many times. You know, good things can happen one time. So hopefully in the future, the odds are in my favor.
Yes. No, I hope they are, dude. That sucks, but I hope you can nail them again.
Well, I'm still smiling.
Creative wants to know what line of Exantic. I'm gonna guess to say VPI. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say MJ, but
No, I do have some NJ stuff, but it's more MJ pied. So I have like lightning
Okay.
pied stuff. So I should be producing a crap ton of lightning pies this year. So if anyone's looking for lightning pies, I'll probably make like 20 or 30 of them. So
Oh,
a lot of,
nice.
yeah, so a lot of pairings for them. And then here's another crazy snake. This is a crazy het that's deep in shed right now, so her colors are not even close to what they usually are. She's really red. And this is a lesser spot nose orange ring fire yellow belly het clown female. And she just has
Wow.
purples, oranges, reds, and yellows. And it's just one of the most beautiful snakes, but sadly she's deep in shed right now, so
That pattern though is freaking nuts.
yeah.
Holy crap.
It's definitely something I want to hold back because I'm going to be breeding an ultramel clown combo of some sort to this in the future, or maybe
Oh
even something
wow.
better.
I can all right. I can picture that in Ultramel, and that would be nuts.
Oh, it'd be insane.
That would be nuts.
And then here's a pretty cool female too. This one is, she wants to tag me real bad. This is a spot nose yellow belly Mojave clown female. And
Very beautiful.
yeah, she just relax. Yeah, she's nice. I like it a little better without the Mojave, but Mojave does some really cool stuff when you add GHI. So hopefully
Yeah.
when this female's older, I have a GHI Ultramel clown I could breed to it. Make some really cool clown combo het Ultramel with the GHI in there and the lesser, or the GHI and the Mojave. Get the spawn nose and yellow belly in there as well. It'd be really cool. And then I think this is what I'll end it on for sure. Now this is the last snake.
Dude, you're good. You don't have to. You can keep showing this stuff all night long if you want. Phil says he lost a few great snakes and clutches this year. You did, Phil. Some of those really sucks that you lost them too, dude.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, holy orange!
Yeah, this girl is just orange, 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 and she has nice peaches and pinks in there. And this is a pied, so this is a Enchi Dreamsicle, but this one's possible yellow belly. I'm not too sure if it is yellow belly or not, but it looks amazing.
Dude, that's nice. And
Yeah,
there's only that one little spot that looks like a ringer for the show the pied.
yeah. If I show you the belly, you'll see it's a pied though. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there it is.
she's just amazing. I was really lucky to hit this one.
Dude, I love the fact that she has all that pattern. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the dreamsicles I've seen, excuse me, there's a lot of white mixed into them. But that there is freaking nice.
yeah. It's definitely a cool one. Thought I'd end off with a banger.
That is a good way to end that off. That is, yes. Thank you for showing us all that stuff, Austin. Holy crap.
Next time I'll have more to show, so it'll be cool.
So that was some awesome stuff to show off, dude. I appreciate that. Got a couple more questions if you're cool with it.
Yep, 100%.
All right. I didn't know how long you're good for. We're an hour and a half in. I know you've got some stuff you probably got to get done there with the
Yeah.
snakes and stuff. So I won't take up too much more of your time. As far as vending shows and stuff, what's your protocol after the show with the snakes?
So if I buy any snakes,
Well, buying or bringing what you took to sell back.
usually we don't let people handle our snakes at shows.
Okay.
We just leave them inside the tubs, and if we do, we make people wash with hand sanitizer. That doesn't really eliminate the mite factor, but we're really diligent on who we let touch our snakes. We try not to go and come in contact with other people's snakes a lot, and real protocol is we don't really, if we see anything, we'll spray nicks. If not, we're just gonna go put them back in the tubs that ever didn't sell, and we try our best to stay away from like contaminants like other breeders snakes, and like we don't let, like, a lot of our shows you do have people who walk around with snakes, but a lot of them don't tend to come to our booth. They're more like the pet people. They're not looking to buy breeding snakes and stuff. So we don't really have that. But if we did, I'd say like that'd be like I'd ask people who have snakes, probably, or have snakes or reptiles, that would probably not to come too close to the booth. and then watch out around the booths around you. Make sure that you notice they don't have mites or anything, because you don't want that tracking onto your booth. And if they do, it'd be a really safe bet to go when you get back to your collection. Take a spray bottle, fill it with Nix, put some water in there, and just be over precautious, because you don't want mites. They spread diseases. They're a headache to get rid of, especially if you have cocoa or other substrate. On paper, it's not too bad, but it's a huge mess to deal with for sure.
Yeah, that's one thing that like that there was more of a question since I've started vending. I was curious as to what some other people do as far as with their protocols of bringing back what didn't sell from the shows and stuff. Because basically, like I just looked my stuff over and say, okay, I don't see anything back into your tub.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what we do a quick check, make sure they look healthy, make sure nothing happened to them. They didn't get too stressed out, because sometimes stress can cause a respiratory infection. Having them on the
Yeah.
table for that long, just being in a clear tub, all the movement around them, I can set off some things, especially. So we just make sure they're not sick, make sure that there's no mites. And if you did see mites at the show, it's just a little safer. Just nix once again. You don't want the mites. It's the biggest headache you'll ever have in your life, especially if you have a big collection.
No, yeah, I believe that. I've heard some real nightmares of getting people trying to get rid of them and them not going away ever. Let's see. All right. So I was looking here at the chat as some of the stuff that was going on here in the chat. Um, all right. What are your thoughts on the current market? Like, do you see things where it's more where the higher end stuff maybe a little bit slower? Do you see the pet end of stuff kind of maybe picking up a little bit? What's your thoughts?
So for us, me, it's probably a little different than you guys. So I'm in Canada, but like I've seen a lot of videos recently about people in the States saying that the market is going towards higher end stuff. That a lot of the lower end stuff is just going to be put into the pet market or wholesale. So, and that's like somewhat of what I'm seeing here. But you'd be surprised, in Canada, you can still get $200 or $300 for a banana, depending on what it is. And some people are just wholesaling them for $100 or even less, $50. So like it depends how much hustle you have and how much like you want to like put the work in. I think a lot of people are just not being lazy, but just thinking that things come a little bit easier than how they do. Because there is a lot of work in the sales. I think the sales is almost as much work as taking care of the animals. Because you have a
Yes.
lot of people who are just gonna come tire kickers, that waste your time, make you take 1,000 pictures, but you don't know who that is. So you have to treat every customer, everyone who messages you with respect. Try your best to like find out what they want, work to cater to them. Don't try to upsell them on something they don't want. I see a lot of other people doing that. Just ask them what they have in their collection. If you're a more experienced breeder and you can see that they maybe not in the right direction, give them a little bit of guidance. Say, well, if I was you, I see you have clowns. Maybe get some more het females, then go invest in a male. Teach them the right way. That's 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 how I see the market. Really, I think the market it's pretty much the way it's been for the last 3 years. I've seen it did go up, some of the prices and some of the demand for certain genes, like desert ghost did go up, ultramel did go up. The clowns, they're a bigger staple than they've ever been, and I I've seen a little decline inside of the well, maybe like the pieds a little bit, the lavenders they're dropping a little bit, but all the other more, especially the desert ghost, the ultramel clowns, and a lot of the other recessive, new recessives are just moving really strongly.
Okay.
So,
I know they're at the show like that. I was just vending. The pet end stuff seemed like it was just really flying out there. That there wasn't a lot of people really worried about if there was a het involved in there or not. They were just more out there as like more just pet buyers, which is fine. And, it was freaking awesome getting people into the hobby and sparking that interest. But it seemed like it was the shows are definitely a lot bigger area to move the pet stuff, and morph market is maybe more the end where you're going to be seeing your more breeder end stuff moving.
no, 100%. I agree with that totally. I think, especially the smaller shows, like I'm actually having a show next Sunday. There's a show here. Me and Lord of Lion are vending together. Uh, I made the mistake a couple of times of bringing animals that were too high priced
Oh,
to these
okay.
shows, and like you might be able to sell one, but you're taking up space for other animals that you can move, and you can move five of them, which would add up to the same price. So
Yep.
you're losing sales in the end. I think the sweet spot for the smaller shows is like the $200 to like $500 range, and then that pet even a little lower sometimes, $100 snakes, even normals and stuff for like $50, $20. People will pick them up as well, especially if there's a het involved and they are looking to breed at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
But Morph Market and Instagram sales is definitely where you're gonna go get those bigger sales. Even sometimes Craigslist and Kijiji, if you do list them, you get that odd person who's looking to invest in a higher end snake and purchase off you. But best bet is Morph Market. Pay the membership. You'll have the easiest way moving your snake. And when you do have those pet snakes, those pet quality snakes, if you don't want to wholesale, do go up to a show. Maybe
Yep.
go put a list on Craigslist, go list them all. You'll be surprised what you can do. It might take a little while, but with a little bit of effort and consistency, they'll sell.
So I enjoyed like the whole hustle of the show environment. Like that was only my second show I've ever done. Like when I come home from it, I'm freaking exhausted, dude. Like I feel like I worked like a 16-hour day. Just I don't know, keep it trying, everything going on. Like it's a lot of hustle and bustle to it, but
Yeah.
it's so rewarding. I mean, I just loved it. So I needless to say, I'm hooked on the show aspect. I have to miss the next show I would have been attending because I don't have enough to justify getting a table. I have like 4 snakes I could take. It's like I can't justify $90 if I would sell all 4 snakes, I might make $300 off of those 4, whatever it comes out to. I just
Yeah.
can't justify that. So I got to wait at least to the next, probably the next Gettysburg show here till I can actually vend again.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Last.
Just a heads up, my phone's at 10%. So
All right. Well, all right. This will be the last one then.
if I cut out, it died. I'm sorry.
You're good, dude. You're good. All right. Your tips for the breeders getting into the hobby at this point in the game with the way the industry is. Go.
So if you have the money, go for straight to the double recessive projects. If you can't afford the double recessive females, and I can't stress this more, only look for females right now, unless you already have females up to size in the projects you want. Don't get males. Get all the females. Get hatchling females. You get a little bit more bang for your buck rather than buying the breeders. The breeders will set you ahead a little bit, but you're spending let's say a breeder clown female is like $2,500, $2,800 when you could buy that same female as a hatchling for $6 or $7. So you can go take that 25 or 2,800 and buy 5 of them or 4 of them and grow those up, and in 2 years you have a little army of clown females going. And the same thing works with the double recessive. You can go buy a bunch of clown pieds or ultramel clowns or even desert ghost clowns. If you can spend the money, if you have that in your pocket, go buy like 3, 4 females, maybe a pied. If you're in the ultramel pied project, there's maybe a pied combo head ultramel, or like a recessive with the heads with some other genes in there, so you can get some other genes in the mix rather than just making straight double recessives. And then in a year or 2, when your females are up to size almost, go and invest more money into your male. Get a couple of really nice genes in there. If you're in the pied, I would go say Enchi, Orange Dream, or Yellow Belly, something that works really well, keeps the pattern there, and just enhances the colors. So that when you do get it into the other pattern mutations, like even Clown Pied, you're making really cool patterns with amazing colors, and you still have the pattern there to show. Unlike if you're gonna make a cinnamon Clown Pied, where you're just gonna see something more similar to a cinnamon pied. Like, do your research, do your diligence, see what genes go, how they mix with other genes. You don't want to put bell complex or certain bell complex into pieds, or you don't want to put spider into Woma, or you don't want to put spider into like spot nose and other things. You can get lethal combos, a lot of other things. Do your research, invest in females, recessive projects, double recessive if you can. If you can't even afford the recessive, go for the heads. Females is what you want, grow them up, and then go for the males. The best advice I can give you, it's a sure way to go and make it. The best bang for your buck as well, because if you buy the male right now, and you have to wait 2 years for him, the reality is a year after you bought him, you could have paid maybe $500 less for that male. So you're saving $500 waiting the year, and you're spending a little bit more money because you're not buying a male. You're spending more money on your females, and those females will grow up. You could save up in those 2 years or the year and a half between and really buy a powerful male to put you where you want to be.
Awesome, dude. I appreciate that. Will had one question for you. Wanted to know if your opinion changed on the recessive banana over the last year.
Rainbow is definitely different than banana. Uh, I think the color palette's way different. It's more of like a lavender color, but I think like lavender albinos isn't really a true lavender compared to what the rainbow does. It brings in that really nice lavender, even has some blue tones in there. And you guys will see when I make the video on how the rainbow pie looks versus like the pastel Enchi rainbow hypo pie versus a pastel Enchi banana pie. It's gonna look way different, and the colors are just way more purple, more blue, more orange, just a lot more vibrant for sure.
Awesome. All right, dude. I am going to let you go because I don't want your phone to die on you.
That's okay.
Everybody, that is going to be tonight's live. I greatly appreciate everybody coming out here. Leland, thanks for tuning in. Melinda, thanks for tuning in. You guys will have to catch this all on replay. We were going to wrap this up. Austin, thank you so much, dude, for showing off all that amazing eye candy, dude, and for all of your advice and what I want to say, just all of your experience and knowledge that you've shared with us tonight. I greatly appreciate it, dude. And thank you again for coming on for a second time.
Jeremy, thank you so much for having me, man. It's always a pleasure. I'm sorry about the last show. I was busy. A lot of you guys were anticipating me on. I just came back from vacation. I was playing catch up, and when I had a bunch of babies coming in the incubator, like 20 or 30 clutches at the same time. It was a mess and just slipped my mind. Glad we were able to do this one, and I know there's going to be a lot more in the future. I have more hatchings to show off as I get more clutches. So you guys watch Jeremy's channel, go subscribe to it. So next time I'm on, you guys can see what I make.
All right, dude. Sounds good. And dude, I would love to have you back on next year. We'll try to keep this like a yearly thing or something like that. Have you come on, show off some awesome stuff.
Well, sounds great, man. Definitely.
Just stay here 1 second. Everybody, again, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. That's going to be it. I don't know who my guest is for next week. I was banking on, like, I left December open because I let the cat out of the bag now. I was trying to get Dave Kaufman on for you guys. I was trying my best to get him on. Reptile Lifeline, thank you again, dude. I greatly appreciate that as well. I was trying to get Dave Kaufman to come on here for December as like a big thank you for all your love and support. Needless to say, Dave's December is really, really, really busy, and it's not going to work. But we're going to try to get him on for 2023. So I'm this week's going to be crazy trying to figure out my lineup for this month. Florida Born, thank you, dude. I greatly appreciate it. All these super chats go to the Ultrasound Fund. Thank you very much, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I'll catch you later. And also, this week's video is going to be my pickups from the Gettysburg Reptile Expo. Make sure you guys check that out because the two pickups, they're not anything super gene pack crazy, but they are absolutely mind blowing in my opinion. So make sure you guys check that video out because I'm over the moon with these two, and I'm anxious to see what I do with them in the future. But until then, everybody, I'll catch you next time. Later.